today's video, we'll be comparing the top 3 best secret units to decide once for all which secret unit is best in SpongeBob Tower Defense. Obviously, the top 3 secret units as of right now is Dennis, Slinging Slasher, and SpongeHenge. So make sure you watch until the end to see which secret unit remains victorious. And without any waiting, let's just start with the brand new secret unit, Dennis. Yeah, luckily for us, we already have one that's level 30 and it has secret formula on it too. So there it is equipped today, and for this video specifically, we'll be doing Krusty Krab Endless Mode A. So let's start right about now. Here we go. And yeah, for all 3 of these games, we'll make sure to fully auto-skip the entire time on 5 times game speed as well. And I decided to bring a starter unit with us and a farm unit just so we can place this down even easier. So yeah, this is both of our Krusty Krabs placed by wave 2, and by wave 4 we fully maxed out both of them. Perfect. Now it's definitely time to place the Dennis down, and as you can see, it already has quite a lot of range on it too. So for now, I think we're going to place it right about here to see how much range it gets when maxed out. Already in level 0 though, it's doing 21,480 damage every 0.9 seconds and it has 40.5 range on it. Upgrade 1 increases that all the way up to 25,060 damage every 0.8 seconds and now it's 43.2 range. Upgrade 2 gets that all the way up to 28,640 damage, still every 0.8 seconds but now has 44.6 range. Upgrade 3 gets that past 30,000 with 35,800 to be exact, and now it's 47.3 range. Upgrade 4 gets that all the way up to 39,380 and now it's 50 range on the dot. But finally, when fully maxed out, it does a whopping 42,960 damage every 0.7 seconds and has 54 range. Yeah, that is absolutely insanely good for sure, but unfortunately it seems like it doesn't quite reach all the map that we needed to be reaching. So I think instead of placing it right over here, we're gonna actually place it right over this way. So yeah, let's see if this spot is slightly better. It definitely should be, since yeah, now reaches all this area. And it still reaches part of the back area too. Hold on, let me double click on it just to make sure, and yeah, it still reaches some of it. Yeah, I mean, I think this is probably as good as it's gonna get, to be honest. I think this is the spot we're gonna keep it at. But yeah, now we'll just sell our starting unit since we don't really need that anymore. And we'll just sell both of our Krusty Krabs since we don't really need these either. And now it's just a matter of time until when we end up losing. I mean, just like that, we already made it to wave 20 and we defeated the next small daddy level 2. And on wave 24, we have a Dennis boss dying right over this way. Now we're finally only 3 waves away from wave 30, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away. Actually, right here we have our first Mandarin boss that we're commenting over 22,000 dying right here. And nice, just like that, we finally made it to wave 30 on the dot as soon as it skips one more time, just like so. Oh wow, that's literally on the dot with that. What are the odds of that? Dang. Anyway, now just see you guys once the next dirty bubble boss spawns in, since yeah, that should be definitely before wave 35, probably by wave 33 or 34. So yeah, by wave 33 spawned in and died over here, just like the Mandarin boss. Which is a little bit odd since, yeah, it can actually start attacking units right over that way, but it's for some reason killing them right over here. Anyway, now we're finally 3 waves away from wave 40, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and we just defeated our next Dennis boss right over this way, which is kind of ironic since we're actually using a Dennis boss. But yeah, nice, we finally made it to wave 40 on the dot right then and there. Nice, but we're honestly doing pretty solid. Anyway, it seems like by wave 43 is when the next Mandarin boss will be spawning in, since yeah, on wave 43 it typically spawns in after these 2 planktons right then and there. This time with 27,000 dying right this way again. Anyway, now we're finally 3 waves away from wave 50. And on wave 47 we have a dirty bubble dying right here again, but now we're only 2 waves away from wave 50. 1 wave away. And bing, now we made it to wave 50 on the dot right then and there. Nice. On wave 52, this time we have a Dennis boss dying right over here again. And now we're 3 waves away from wave 60, and we have our next Mandarin boss this time with 32,000 dying right here again. But now we're 2 waves away from wave 60, 1 wave away, and bang, now we made it there too. Nice. On wave 61, we have another, wait, what is it called? Oh yeah, dirty bubble dying right here for some reason. I don't know how I forgot that. And on wave 66, we have a Dennis boss dying right here again. Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 70, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, finally at last we made it to wave 70 on the dot right then and there. Perfect. On wave 71, though, we have another Mandarin boss making it right here, this time with 38,000 health, which is honestly a lot further than I expected it to make it already. And on wave 75, we have another smaller one dying right here again. Yeah, even these normal enemies are starting to make it over this way, which is slightly concerning. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect enemies to make it this far already. Anyway, now we're already 3 waves away from wave 80, and in fact, yeah, now we're only 2 waves away. And now we're only 1 wave away. And boom, just like that, we made it to wave 80 on the dot right then and there. On wave 80, we have another Dennis boss, the same unit guy dying right over this way without his motorcycle. And with wave 85, it seems like we have our next Mandarin boss, this time with 46,000 dying right here. Now we're finally only 3 waves away from wave 90, and 2 waves away, one wave away, and bang, just like that, we made it to wave 90 on the dot since we took that giant dirty bubble down right this way, meaning now we're officially 10 waves away from wave 100. On wave 94, we have another Dennis spot spawning in right there with 14,000 health down right this way, but now we're officially 5 waves away from wave 100. And now we're only 4 waves away from wave 100. Just like that though, now we're only 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and here comes our final man boss before we make it to wave 100 with 55,000 health down right here again. Yep, just like that, on the dot, we made it to wave 100 right then, and boom, there. That's crazy, but we're already on wave 100. This is honestly going by so quick, and we're basically still spawn killing at the same point too. In fact, on wave 103, we have our first dirty bubble boss, but after wave 100 spawning in, this time we died over here. And on wave 108, we have a Dennis boss with over 17,000 health down right here. Nice, finally at last time we already made it to wave 110 on the dot as Susan skips one more time like so. But on wave 113 is when the next man boss spawns in, so yeah, I'll just see you guys in about 3 waves now anyway. So yeah, there we go, we made it to wave 113 and this time the main robot side's over here. And on wave 117 we have a dirty bubble dying right here again. Now we're only 2 waves away from wave 120 though. And now we're only 1 wave away. And boom, just like that we made it to wave 120 on the dot right then and there. On wave 122 though, we have another Dennis boss dying right this way. And now we're 3 waves away from wave 130 and we have our next Manor boss this time with 80,000 health, finally making it past this corner over this way. But now we're only 2 waves away from wave 130, 1 wave away, and bang, now we finally made it to wave 130. On wave 131 though, we have a dirty bubble dying right here again. And on wave 136, we finally have a Dennis boss riding in this corner right here. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 140 though, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 140. On wave 141 though, we have a man boss making it past this corner, and this time all the way here. And on wave 145, we still have the dirty bubble boss dying right this way. Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 150 though, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 150. I'm pretty sure actually on wave 150 on the dot, yeah, here comes our next Dennis boss right in this corner again with 30,000 health. And on wave 155 we have another man boss finally reaching over 100,000 health, making it past this pole over this way, dying right here. Yeah, wow, each boss is actually starting to make some progress for sure. I'm definitely curious to see if we'll be able to make it to at least wave 250, if not higher. We still definitely have a long way to go until we're there, obviously, since now we're 3 waves away from wave 160. And 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, there goes our next dirty bubble boss, finally rounding this corner right here, and nice. Now we also made it to wave 160 on the dot. On wave 164, we have another Dennis boss dying right this corner over here. This time it gained 7,000 health at once. And on wave 169, we have another man boss with 139,000 health, making it super far again, this time dying almost at this corner right here. Yeah, is it just me, or does that feel like it died in pretty much the exact same spot? Maybe it took like 1 extra step, I'm not sure. Anyway, now we also made it to wave 172, now we're less than 30 waves away from wave 200. But on wave 173, we have another dirty bubble boss down right here this time. On wave 178, we have another Dennis boss finally making it all the way over this way, so that's definitely some good progress for sure. But nice, now we also made it to wave 80, meaning now we're 20 waves away from wave 200, as soon as this skips one more time like so. On wave 183, we have our next man boss with 167,000 health, passing this corner right here and making it all the way this way. And now we're 3 waves away from wave 190, and the next dirty bubble died right here, and now we're only 2 waves away, and 1 wave away, and boom, finally at last we made it to wave 190 on the dot, meaning we're officially 10 waves away from wave 200. On wave 192, we have our final Dennis boss before we make it to wave 200 dying right here. But now we're 5 waves away from wave 200, 4 waves away, 3 waves away, and here comes our final man boss before we make it to wave 200 with over 200,000 health on it, this time dying, let's say, right over here. So yeah, even past Squidward's boat, that's crazy, but now we're only 2 waves away from wave 200, 1 wave away, and boom, finally at last we made it to wave 200 on the dot right then and there. Nice! Yeah, now I think I'm definitely done commentating over all the dirty bubble bosses, since yeah, they're not really making too much progress at all. In fact, yeah, just look at this one, it's only gonna make it right around here. And on wave 206, we also have a Dennis boss that we do care about, somehow dying a little bit earlier, dying right here. But on wave 211, we also have a man boss that we definitely do care about with 240,000 health. And this one's gonna make it even further than it did the past few times, making it past this corner all the way right here. Dang! Yeah, that is crazy far for sure. We might be able to just barely make it to wave 250, but definitely not much past that. Anyway, now we finally made it to wave 220 with our next Dennis boss spawning after these big jellyfish spawn in. So yeah, there it is right there with 77,000 health dying right here. On wave 225, we have another man ray boss, this time with almost 300,000 health, with 280,000 to be exact. And this time it's gonna die past this corner and past this corner right here, dying right over this way. Wow. Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 230, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and nice, just like that, we finally made it to wave 230 on the dot. On wave 234, we have another Dennis boss. Wow, this is making it over this way finally. But now we're 3 waves away from wave 240, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away. And actually, on wave 239, we have another man boss, this time with over 300,000 health. Yeah, this one's gonna make it even further than last time. In fact, yep, now it's down to its lost 100,000 health, 50,000 health, and yep, this one's gonna die over here. Now we finally made it to wave 240 on the dot right then and there, though. On wave 248, though, we have another Dennis boss finally reaching over 100,000 health, dying right here again. And nice, finally at last we made it to wave 252, not too bad at all. I'm definitely happy with how far we're making it with this one unit alone. On wave 253 though, we finally have a Mary boss with over 400,000 health, but now it's down to its lost 200,000 and 100,000, and this one's gonna die, let's see. Wow, well over this way right about here, dang. Yeah, I definitely think we're dead before wave 300, but it'll definitely be close whether or not we're actually able to make it there. We'll have to see. Now we finally made it to wave 260, and on wave 262, we have another Dennis boss with 133,000 health, making it all the way right here. Wow. On wave 267 though, we have another man boss with almost 500,000 health this time, but now it's below 300,000 and 200,000, 100,000, and yeah, it seems like just barely again. We are going to be able to get it, but extremely far though. Wow, I made it all the way right here this time, dang. And don't forget, the Dennis boss can only reach all the way over this way, so yeah, that was insanely close for sure. Anyway, now we finally made it to wave 270, and by wave 276, we have our final Dennis boss that we're going to be able to talk about this round for sure, since the next man ray boss will definitely end up killing us. But yeah, this Dennis boss is going to make it all the way right here, right in front of the Dennis unit. That's funny. Anyway, now we're 3 waves away from wave 280, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, finally last we made it to wave 280 on the dot right then and there. Nice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure as long as we're able to take care of this man boss that's spawned in any second now, we'll actually be good to make it to wave 200. Not wave 200, 300. But we'll have to see, since yeah, this one has almost 600,000 health this time, but now it's down to 500,000 over here, 400,000 over this way, 300,000 by that corner, 200,000 by this corner, 100,000 back here. Yo, it's gonna be so close whether or not we get it. No, dang it, just barely we didn't get it. Wow. 280 waves based with a level 30 secret formula Dennis though. That is crazily good. I mean, it did 63 million damage just by itself as well. Wow. Yeah, we'll definitely have a leaderboard up on the screen for how far each secret unit gets. And right now, obviously, Dennis is in first place with 30 waves, or not 30 waves, 280 waves beaten. Next up on the list, though, I definitely think I want to test out the most OG one out of the 3, which is SpongeHenge. But unfortunately, at the moment, we actually don't even have one that has secret point on it. We do have one that has wealth on it. That is level 30. So yeah, real quick, we'll just roll secret point on this as well. It shouldn't take too long at all if I were to guess, since yeah, we'll just use golden tree rolls too. So yeah, let's select it and just reroll until we get it. Hopefully it doesn't take more than 10, but we'll find out any second now. Come on, give me a secret formula, please. Secret formula, give me it. What the heck? Yo, it's been over 20. Are you serious? Come on, right here. Give me secret formula. I swear, if I get, what's it called? If I get Neptune's crown, I'm actually gonna be so pissed. Alright, bro, now it's been over 40. Are you kidding me? Come on, at least give it to me within the next 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and boom. Oh my goodness, we're below 200 tree rolls. Are you serious? Come on, please. Give me secret formula. Or again, what the heck? Yo, what is this garbage luck? Okay, actually, what is going on? Why have I gotten secret formula, bro? If I go below 170, I'm actually gonna... Oh, there we go. Finally, bro. Jeez. Anyway, yeah, now that we finally have a level 30 secret formula SpongeHenge, it is definitely time to see exactly how far this one can get compared to the 280 waves the Dennis boss got as well. Hopefully we can beat it, but we'll find out right now again. And yeah, just like last time, we'll make sure to fully auto-escape at all in 5 times speed yet again. And we'll do the exact same start by placing down our starting unit by wave 1, placing down our Krusty Krabs by wave 2, and then fully maxing them out by wave 4. Now it is definitely time to place down our SpongeHenge, and I'm not exactly sure what the best little spot for this unit is. I mean, we're gonna try right here for now, and then max it out. Already on level 0 though, it's doing 18,576 damage every 0.8 seconds and has 45 range. But upgrade 1 increases that all the way up to 24,768 damage with a 0.7 second cooldown now and then 46.5 range. Upgrade 2 gets that all the way up to 27,864 damage every 0.7 seconds still, but now has 48 range. Upgrade 3 gets that all the way up to 37,152 damage every 0.7 seconds still, but now it's 51 range on the dot. Upgrade 4 gets that all the way up to 43,344 damage and now has 52.5 range. And last but not least, when fully maxed out, the SpongeHenge does a whopping 49,536 damage every 0.6 seconds and has 54 range on it. Unfortunately though, we definitely have to replace it a little bit better so it reaches this corner more, and other than that, I feel like it reaches basically the entire map. So yeah, instead of right here, I think we're gonna sell and replace it probably right around this way, and then this should cover the rest of the map that we needed to. So there you go, we sold and replaced it, but dang it, now it doesn't reach this corner over that way. Hold on, let me try a little something else where I place it like right around here instead. Yeah, maybe this will do the trick. Alright, let's see. Okay, it barely reaches that one and basically reaches this one, so yeah, this should be good enough. And yeah, just like last time, by wave 17, we'll sell our elastic waistband just like so. And our crusty guards by wave 18. And nice, there goes our first medium-sized dirty bubble of the video that we're going to commentate over this round at least. And nice, and now we also made it to wave 20. Yeah, the last medium-sized one died over this way, so I'm curious to see where the giant one and the small one die as well. In fact, by wave 24, we actually have our next Dennis boss instead of the giant dirty ball that I thought we were gonna have, and the Dennis boss died right here. But now we're already 3 waves away from wave 30, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, here's actually our next Mandarin boss, also dying right over here, just like the dirty bubble and the Dennis boss, and that one actually had 20,000 health on it, I'm pretty sure. But nice, finally last we made it to wave 30 on the dot. Perfect. On wave 33 though, we have our next giant dirty ball, I guess, skating over this. So, well, I guess it's more so the medium-sized one. It's not even really the giant one. Anyway, now we're only 3 waves away from wave 40, and 2 waves away. And here comes our next Dennis boss on wave 38 as well. This time with 7,200 health dying right here, and now we're only 1 wave away from wave 40. And bang, there you go. We finally made it to wave 40 on the dot. Nice. On wave 43, however, we actually have our next giant dirty bubble spawning in. So yep, as soon as it skips to wave 43, it'll spawn in any second now. So yep, there we go. Skip, here comes the big jellyfish, then the 2 planktons, and then the Mandarin boss. This time with 27,000 dying right here. Anyway, now we're finally only 3 waves away from wave 50, and we actually have our next dirty bubble on this wave, getting right around here with 9,000 health. But now we're 2 waves away from wave 50, 1 wave away, and boom, now we've made it here too. On wave 52, we have another Dennis boss down over here again. And on wave 57, we actually have our next Mandarin boss that spawns in on that wave too, and it'll have over 30,000 health if I were to guess. So let's see, yep, okay, 32,400 health, making it right around here. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 60 though, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, now we also made it to wave 60, nice. On wave 61, we finally have our next dirty bubble dying right here as always. And on wave 66, we have our next Dennis boss spawning in, so yeah, there it is with over 10,000 health dying right here, just like the dirty bubble. But now we're 3 waves away from wave 70, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, there we go. We finally made it to wave 70 on the dot right then and there. On wave 71, we finally have our next Man Ray with 38,000 health dying right here, just like the last Man Ray. And on wave 75, we have another dirty bubble with almost 14,000 health dying right here. But nice, now we finally made it to wave 80. And actually, on wave 80 as well, we have our next Dennis boss with 12,000 health dying right here. And on wave 85, we actually have our next Man Ray boss, this time with 46,000 health dying right here, like last time again. And on wave 89, we have another dirty bubble down right this one. That's actually the final one before we make it to wave 100, as now we're 10 waves away from wave 100. In fact, here comes the next Dennis boss on wave 94 with 14,000 health down right here again. But now we're officially 5 waves away from wave 100. And now we're only 4 waves away. And now we're only 3 waves away from wave 100, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and here comes our final Man Ray boss before we finally make it to wave 100 with 55,000 health dying right here. And nice, finally at last it skips to wave 100 right then and there. Awesome. Yeah, now that we're on wave 100, I think I'm done commentating over all the dirty bubbles that spawn, since they're kind of pointless and they always die in the exact same spot. So for now, we're only going to focus on all the Dennis bosses that spawn in, as well as every single Man Ray boss that spawns in. So yeah, no more commentating over these guys anymore. But what we do care about is these Dennises that spawn in with 17,000 health dying right here, as well as whenever we make it to wave 110, 120, etc. And on wave 113, when we actually have Man Ray bosses, we also care about these guys right here with 67,000 health that are finally making it somewhat far. In fact, yeah, that one made it all the way right here. Now we're finally 3 waves away from wave 120 though, and now we're only 2 waves away, and 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 120. On wave 122, we have our next Dennis boss down right here. And on wave 127, we have our next Man Ray boss, this time with 80,000 health down right here again, but now we're 3 waves away from wave 130. And 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 130. And finally by wave 136, we have another Dennis boss finally rounding the corner right here, and now we're 3 waves away from wave 140. And 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 140 as well. On wave 141, though, we have our next Man Ray boss, this time with almost 100,000 health, with 96,000 to be exact, rounding this corner right this way. On wave 150, though, we have our next Dennis boss, finally making it right here this time. And on wave 155, we have another Man Ray boss, finally reaching over 100,000 health, dying in the exact same spot it died last time. Now we finally made it to wave 160 though, and on wave 164 we have another Dennis boss down right here this time. Now we're finally on wave 169 with our next Man Ray boss with 139,000 health, making it right here. And nice, now we also reached 170 on the dot too. On wave 178 we have our next Dennis boss down right this way though. And nice, now we finally made it to wave 180 as well. Nice, nice, nice. On wave 183 though, we have another Man Ray boss with 167,000 health, almost making it to this corner over here. And nice, now we also finally made it to wave 190, meaning we're 10 waves away from wave 200. On wave 192 we have another Dennis boss sign right here this time, but now we're 5 waves away from wave 200. Now we're only 4 waves away though, 3 waves away. Actually, now that we're 3 waves away, we have another Man Ray boss finally reaching over 200,000 health and passing this corner right here, making it right here this time. But now we're only 2 waves away from wave 200, 1 wave away, and boom, now we also made it to wave 200. Now that we made it to wave 200 though, I think I'm done commenting over every single small dirty bubble boss that spawns in, like this one right here. As well as the Dennis bosses that spawn in on wave 207 it seems. But what I do care about is every single time we make it to wave 210, 220, etc. And every single time the Man Ray boss spawns in, like this one, 240,000 health. Yeah, it's already below 100,000 and this one's gonna die a little bit over this way. But we still have about 70 ways to go until we finally end up passing the Dennis boss. Now we're finally only 3 waves away from wave 220 though, and now we're only 2 waves away, and 1 wave away, and bang, there we go, we finally made it to wave 220 on the dot. On wave 225 though, we finally have another Man Ray boss, this time with 288,000, so the next one will definitely have over 300,000. Yeah, this time it died right in front of the SpongeHenge. Wow, it's generally going to be close whether or not the Dennis boss actually does better than the SpongeHenge secret. Like, I'm actually really, like, confused with which one is going to do better, but now we're 3 waves away from wave 230, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 230 right then and there. Nice. Yeah, it'll definitely be a few several waves until we finally see the next Man Ray boss, but yeah, the next time I see you guys is when it'll spawn in. On wave 234 though, oh wait, no, never mind. But yeah, what I meant to say is by wave 239, we finally have our next Man Ray boss with over 300,000 health, like I said. But yeah, this was gonna make it all the way right here. Yeah, it's genuinely gonna be so close. The only reason why I think it's going to be as close as I think it is going to be is because I feel like these SpongeHenge actually have slightly more range, no? I don't know, maybe I'm tripping, but finally we made it to wave 240, as well as wave 250. But by wave 253, we finally have another Man Ray boss, this time with over 400,000 health, but now it's down to 200,000, 100,000, and wow, yeah, it passed this corner and almost reached this corner right here. Now we're finally only 3 waves away from wave 260, and even the Dirty Bubble boss is making it right here now. But now we're 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, now we made it to wave 260. Yeah, even the Dennis boss is also making it extremely far right around here. Yeah, here comes our next Man Ray boss, this time with almost 500,000 health, literally less than 1,000 away from being that much, but now it's down to 300,000, 200,000 over this way, 100,000 where it died last time, and yeah, this one's gonna make it right here. Notice how the SpongeHenge is actually better than the, no way it's actually better than the Dennis, that's crazy. Yeah, now we're 2 waves away from wave 280, and now we're only 1 wave away, or not with wave 280, wave with 270. But nice, now we made it to wave 270. Nice, though, now we finally made it to wave 280 as well right then and there. On wave 281 though, another Man Ray boss spawned in with almost 600,000 health, but now it's down to 300,000, 200,000, 100,000. And yeah, the wave 280 boss that killed us last time dies over this way. It's definitely making it safe to say that the SpongeHenge is actually somehow better than the Dennis boss, which is actually genuinely surprising. I fully expected that the Dennis boss would actually end up doing better. Definitely very interesting for sure, but now just see you guys by wave 295 when the next Dennis boss spawns in. Or not Dennis boss, Man Ray boss. So yeah, there we go. We made it to wave 295 with another Man Ray boss, this time with over 700,000 health. And yep, still is around 200,000 where it died last time, and now it's gonna make it into the kitchen, dying right around here. Wow. But now we're 5 waves away from wave 300. And now we're only 4 waves away. And 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom. Finally, at last, we made it to wave 300. Yeah, it's definitely very clear that the SpongeHenge is somehow better than the dentist. I have a feeling within the next 2 or 3 man rays that spawn in, we are definitely dead. It might even be the next one. We'll have to see. So yeah, by wave 309, the next man ray boss spawns in with over 860,000 health, but now it's down to 600,000 over here, 500,000 over this way, 400,000 by this area, 300,000 by that corner, 200,000 by the kitchen, 100,000 by here. Wait, is it gonna get it by? Oh, it did. No way. 308 waves beats in with these SpongeHenge. Dang. Oops, I did not mean to do that, but let's definitely head back to the lobby to update the leaderboard. So yep, here it is right here. Now we have the SpongeHenge in first place with 308 waves beats, and in second place actually goes to Dennis with 280 waves. Yeah, last but not least is definitely trying to test out the Slinging Slasher, and I'm definitely curious to see if this one actually becomes the new best. Or if for some reason these SpongeHenge actually staying the best somehow. I honestly have no idea if it would or not. So yeah, let's equip our level 30 SpongeHenge like last time, and now we just need to get a secret formula on it just like these SpongeHenge needed. But hopefully this one doesn't take more than 30 rolls like the last one. Come on, only take like 5 or 6. No, oh my goodness, bro, it's gonna take so long. I just know it. Oh wait, there we go. Okay, nice. It actually only took like 15. That's not bad at all. But yeah, without any more waiting, let's just do the last game right now again. Here we go. So yeah, we already have our starting unit placed and both of our farms maxed out by wave 4. I just decided to skip all that intro stuff. That way instead we could go right into placing down our SpongeHenge, or not a SpongeHenge, our Slinging Slasher right here. Yeah, on level 0, this one does 18,576 damage every 0.5 seconds and has 43.5 range. Yeah, I remember, the SpongeHenge actually had 54 range when maxed out, but on upgrade 1 increases all the way to 21,672 damage. Still has that 0.5 second cooldown, but now it's 46.4 range. Upgrade 2 gets that all the way to 24,768 damage every ER, and now it's 47.8 range too. Upgrade 3 gets that all the way to 30,960 damage, and now it's 50.8 range. Upgrade 4 gets that all the way up to 34,056 damage, and now it's 53.7 range. And last but not least, when fully maxed out, it actually does 37,152 damage every 0.4 seconds and has 58 range on it. Yeah, that means this unit actually, I'm pretty sure, has full map coverage. Yeah, other than this very back part right here, it reaches the entire map. Wow. Yeah, that is going to be absolutely insanely helpful for sure, and that actually might allow us to defeat that wave 308 one that spawned in from the SpongeHenge round. Yeah, here comes our first man boss by wave 15, and it immediately dies right here. Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 20, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, here comes our first dirty bubble boss of the video that dies right here. Well, not of the video, of this round in specific, and nice. Now we also made it to wave 20. On wave 24, we have our first Dennis boss of this round that we're commentating over, and this one died right here. And on wave 29, we actually have our second man ray boss that we're commentating over this round, and this one dies right here again. Yep, now we also made it to wave 32 already, meaning we're 1/10 of the way to making it to where the SpongeHenge got. On wave 33, though, we have another dirty bubble boss dying right here. And on wave 38, we have another Dennis boss dying right this way. And nice, now we finally also made it to wave 40. On wave 43, though, we have another Dennis, or not Dennis boss, another man ray boss spawning in after the Planktons obviously spawned in too. So yeah, there it is with 27,000 health on the dot, dying right here. On wave 47, we have another dirty bubble boss dying right here, and this will be the last one when we commentate over this round. As now we're 2 waves away from wave 50, 1 wave away from wave 50, and boom, now we also made it to wave 50. Yeah, now that we passed wave 50, I think I'm done commenting over all the dirty bubble bosses that spawn in, so for now we'll just stick to every single Dennis boss that spawns in. And on wave 57, when we also have another man ray boss that we also do care about riding this corner right here. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 60, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 60. But on wave 66, we finally have another Dennis boss sign right here. Now we finally made it to wave 70, and on wave 71, we have another man ray boss sign in the exact same spot it died last time. And on wave 80, we have another Dennis boss sign right here. On wave 85, we also have another man ray boss making it right here. But now we're 3 waves away from wave 90, and 2 waves away, and 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 90. And on wave 94, we have our final Dennis boss that we're going to commentate over, since yeah, that one died on wave 95, but now we're 5 waves away from wave 100. And now we're only 4 waves away, and 3 waves away, and now we actually have our next man ray boss spawning in right here too. But wait, what? Okay, well now we're 2 waves away from wave 100. Oh wait, it spawns at wave 99. What am I talking about? Yeah, now we're only one wave away from wave 100, and this is actually the wave that the man ray boss spawns in. So yeah, there it is with 55,000 health, making it right here this time. And nice, now we finally made it to wave 100 on the dot right then and there. Nice, boom. Yeah, now that we made it to wave 100, I'm done commentating over every single man ray boss, or not man ray boss, every single Dennis boss and Dirty Bubble that spawns in. So now we'll only be focusing on every single time we make it to wave 110, 120, etc. and every single man ray boss that spawns in too. Now we finally made it to wave 110 though, and on wave 113 we finally have our next man ray boss with 67,000 health dying right around here. Now we made it to wave 120, and on wave 127 we finally have our next man ray boss, yeah, and this one has 80,000 health, and this one's gonna die right over here again. Now we're 3 days away from wave 130 though, and only 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 130 as well. And now we also made it to wave 140. On wave 141, however, we have another man ray boss, and this is the last one to have over below 100,000 health, and this one died on this corner right here. Now we also made it to wave 150, but on wave 155, we have another man ray boss finally reaching over 100,000 health, making it past this corner and dying right here. Yeah, we're slowly but surely closing in on where the Dennis boss and the Slinging Slasher, the SpongeHenge got, as now we're halfway to where the SpongeHenge got. But now we're 3 days away from wave 160, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally also made it to wave 160 on the dot 2. On wave 169, we have another man ray boss with 139,000 health dying right over here again though. And nice, now we also made it to wave 170, and now we also made it to wave 180. On wave 183, we have our next man ray boss with 167,000 health, and this one should make it slightly further than the last one. Yep, right around where the pole is. Now we finally made it to wave 190, and now we're 5 waves away from wave 200. On wave 197, meaning we're 3 waves away from wave 200 now, another man ray boss spawns in with finally over 200,000 health, making it right here. But now we're 2 waves away from wave 200, 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 200. Now I'm strictly only going to commentate over every single man ray boss that spawns in, instead of also counting over every single wave now. On wave 211, we have another man ray boss, this time with 240,000 health. And yeah, this one's going to make it right around where the Slinging Slasher actually is. On wave 225, we finally have another man ray boss with 288,000 health. And yeah, last time we died right here, but this time it's going to die well over this way. On wave 239, we have another man ray boss with 346,000 health. And so yep, this one made it past that corner, and this time it dies over this way. On wave 253, we have another man ray boss with 415,000 health dying right here. And finally by wave 267, we have another one, and this is the final one before we make it to where the Dennis got to. And yeah, this one's also going to die fairly easily right around here. And on wave 280, we finally have another man ray boss with over 500,000 health. And this one also is going to be fairly easily able to be defeated. In fact, yeah, this one dies right over this way. It's definitely going to be close whether or not we're actually able to defeat the final one that spawns in, but we'll have to see. I'll just see you guys in a little bit once it does spawn in. So yeah, by wave 295, we have another one, this time with 718,000 health. And yeah, this one's also going to make it somewhat far, but it's just not quite far enough, it seems. Yeah, this one's going to die right over this way. Wow. It's definitely going to be insanely close whether or not we're able to defeat the final one before we make it to wave 300, or not wave 300, wave 310 or whatever. But speaking of 3, now we're 3 days away from wave 300, and now we're only 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, just like that, finally at last we made it to wave 300, and now I'll just see you guys by wave 309 with the final man ray boss. So yeah, there we go. We made it to wave 309 with the final man ray boss that is probably going to end us all with 862,000 health on it. And let's see, yep, it is making it insanely far. It's now down to 300,000 health over this way, and it seems like this one might actually get on by. Wow. That's crazy. No way. Well, I guess the Slinging Slasher is somehow tied with the SpongeHenge. In fact, here's the final leaderboard. We have the Slasher and SpongeHenge in first place with 308 waves beaten. And just behind it in third place is Dennis with 280 waves. So yeah, I guess that decides that the Dennis isn't actually the best secret unit in the game, but it is a very close contender whether or not it actually is. But yeah, that is pretty much it for me. Definitely suggest some other videos down below that you guys want me to record, and we're so close to 20,000 subs, so definitely subscribe to get me there. But yeah, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video very soon as always, and yeah, peace out everybody.